5 after 7. Please stand for a moment of silence. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please. Here. Here.
Here.
Here. Here. Just for the record, Mr. Sabatini had a scope done today, and that's why he's not with us this evening. At this time, I'm going to open up public participation, so anybody on this side of the room would like to speak on anything, please state your name, but you got to go to that microphone because the meetings are being audio and videotaped for television.
My name is Jim Lake and live on Trenton Avenue in the East Ward. And as you gentlemen and ladies know, I've been here before to raise my concerns about issues that are present on Trenton Avenue. And tonight I just want to commend Chief Porter and his department, the interactions that I've had with the police to help correct this problem. The police have always been very courteous, and in addition to that, they've been informative in explaining to myself, and therefore I can explain to other citizens, how we can help the police to correct certain situations that are out of an ordinary citizen's control. So I want to commend Chief Porter and his department for what I consider to be outstanding work and dedication to duty.
Thank you very much. Anybody else on this side of the room? Anybody on this side of the room would like to comment on anything? Anybody in the back of the room? That ends public participation. We have mayor's communication.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just have a couple short items here to communicate out tonight. Primarily that there's a lot of activity that's gone on throughout the borough, and a lot of new schedules will be coming out for Little League Baseball and softball. The Lions Club, I got a call from them the other day that they'll be putting out their summer schedule. So I don't have a lot this month, but I just wanted to communicate those kind of things. I want to thank Station 53 for going out this weekend and canvassing the Harriman area from Jefferson Avenue to Green Lane and handing out smoke detectors. Also, too, Chief Slack has made an application for the whole borough for carbon monoxide detectors. We're waiting to hear back from the federal government if we're going to be approved for that. So I wanted to communicate that. Also, too, in talking with Chief Porter, and a couple of our sergeants are here tonight, we're beginning to look at what we're going to be doing with our Squad 5 detail and follow up from the success that we had last year in putting together a plan for this year. I wasn't here, I was out of town on our work session, and I think it was Councilman Musey mentioned the kids' basketball program that's going on. If you hadn't had a chance to get over to Warren Snyder and watch the kids from kindergarten and second grade playing basketball, it's really interesting to watch. I'm there, I have a grandson, so I'm there watching that, and then also up at the high school, some of the older kids. And that's going to finish up, I believe, next Wednesday. That program will finish, so if you can get there Tuesday the 17th or Saturday the 14th or Thursday the 12th, the little kids would greatly appreciate seeing some more people come out. And let's see, I want to thank Merle Winslow for setting up, not sure everybody's aware, but in Bristol Borough, the council has provided a system that was called CAN. If we had an emergency in our town and we needed to do an evacuation in part of the town or all of the town, there are some of us that have a particular password that we can call in and say that we want, all of Harriman notified that there's a gas leak on, say, McKinley Street. That's something, it's a service that the borough provides. That system has gone away, and Merle, as our emergency management coordinator, has taken the lead in getting a program scheduled for the new, it's called RSAN, Room Secure Alert Network, that about 8 or 9 of us will be trained on in the next 2 weeks. So that's just another piece of information for you. And last but not least, I'd like to encourage the council to vote on the, in favor of the item tonight for the compensation for the tax collector. The tax collector not only collects taxes in this town, but we're a small town, and it doesn't affect the current tax collector, it only affects going forward the next tax collector. But our tax collector provides a lot more than just collecting taxes. When you go down to that office, and especially if you're a senior citizen, she takes a lot of time with people that don't understand. She explains things. A lot of people come in are confused. She also provides a lot of other forms and so forth that people need, and she also helps them do that. It's not part of the tax collector's job, but it's another service that she provides here in this building as people come in. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mayor. Just before we get to approve the minutes, I just want to update everybody on the downstairs, the building on the police station. We did a walkthrough today, myself, the chief, our detective, Angelo Rago, and a member from Twining, and the job is 99.9% complete. It just needs some punch lists like cleaning, some miscellaneous cleaning, and some little odds and ends. They're projecting they will be done by Friday. The furniture will be delivered on Tuesday, and they're hoping to have all the furniture installed in one day, even if they got to work from 7 in the morning until late at night because they have other jobs scheduled. Once that's complete, then the cops will start moving some of their stuff in, the chief, the detective, the sergeants, the secretaries, and the squad room will come in last. Once that's done, we probably have maybe about 2 to 4 weeks in the firehouse and the Aaron Fox Museum to get that finished, get new doors on the building, and move the fire trucks and the firemen back in. So it's really exciting if you're down there to see the progress that has been made. The dedication right now is set for April 18th at 12 o'clock. So we're trying to put a full program together, so if council can mark their calendars and keep that Saturday at noon open. The last thing is Comcast was here today. They ran the 2 feeds into the building. They will finish tomorrow, so basically the meetings we've been televising have not been shown, but they're all on disc in the TV room. So therefore, once this feed is hooked up, and they think they'll be done tomorrow or Wednesday, we should be able to channel, I think, is channel 852. Am I correct? 852. You don't need any additional cable boxes or anything like that. It's not a premium channel, even though it's on 852. It's a regular channel, so anybody with Comcast cable will get that. And the meetings will be viewed throughout the day. So they'll have a bulletin board displaying certain announcements, and then the work session will show, the road program meeting will show, and this council meeting should show. That's what we're right now hoping for. And in March, we'll probably show both meetings. I don't know if they'll be an hour after our meeting ends. They'll come on. They won't be live, but they'll be coming on exactly. I think he said within an hour you can get it up and running. I'm not sure. So that's where we are with that. One other thing, at the end of '09, our 5-year trash contract with Mascara expires. So therefore, we're going to have to go out to bid on another contract. I think council did a good job with the last one. We tied up a trash company for 5 years. We saved over $1 million to taxpayers by doing this contract. If it was a 3-year contract, it would have expired when the price of diesel and oil was going through the roof, so you could just imagine where this contract would have went. And how this works is it's a pass-through account. So when this goes out to bid, if they come in and say it's $10 million to pick up trash for 5 years, that money gets divided by the amount of people that are paying trash. And you take that money and just pay the trash company. That money does not go into any general funds or any other accounts. It's by law, you can't do that. So we've been locked in at trash, I think, at $330 a year for 5 years, which is not a bad deal. I don't know where it's going to be in the next contract, but I'm going to probably form a committee of a couple members of council, the mayor, and I'm going to really would appreciate maybe some borough residents, taxpayers, get involved in this. Maybe contact the borough and tell them you would like to be on this committee, so when we put this contract out to bid, we all can understand what's going on, how it's going to be done. I think one mistake I feel we made as a council is picking up trash every day in town. When Waste Management had it, they picked it up, say, Tuesdays and Fridays or Mondays and Thursdays. So there was only trash twice throughout the whole town. Although they pick it up twice in our wards, it's still in a South Ward, the East Ward, the North Ward, the West Ward. So no matter where you ride around town, you always see trash out. And I think that's something that in this new contract we need to look at and say, we only want it picked up, although we get 2 pickups a week, we want the whole town done twice a week. They're the things, and bulk pickup, how many times how many items you could put out. All this reflects the bill, and there could be alternates in this contract. A, you pick up twice a week, unlimited trash. Alternate B can be twice a week, bulk only on the second pickup. So there's a lot of issues, so I'd like to get some input with taxpayers and residents throughout the town and see. So if anybody's interested, contact the manager. We'll probably start working on this sometime in July, August, and go out to bid hopefully September, October, because January 1, whoever the contract is awarded to, they start on January 1st. That's when the old contract expires December 31st. And that's all I have. Didn't you have anything? Okay, I need a motion on number 3.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the council borough work session for February 2nd, the special public meeting of January 29th, the council meeting of January 20th, the police department's report for January 2009, the inspection report for January 2009, and the treasurer's report for January 2009. I'm sorry, was that January? December 2008.
Do I have a second? Second by Mr. Brunel. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, on more than one occasion, you asked me to refrain from asking questions about the treasurer's report at the work session. And you asked me to provide a list with Mr. Dillon, and that he'd get back to me. Well, I did that a couple of weeks ago. I'm still waiting. How long should I have to wait?
I don't know nothing about the list, Mr. Lutz.
Maybe Mr. Dillon can...
Mr. Lutz, I think it was about 5 days ago, and it really didn't deal with the treasurer's report whatsoever. You had a number of general questions, and I hope to be able to answer your questions by the end of the week. There's a lot of other significant items going on in this town that demands my attention, other than responding to some of your questions that I've already answered. But I will answer them by the end of the week in writing. But it had nothing to do with the treasurer's report. You asked for my opinion, I will give you my opinion. But I just haven't had time. I had an operation last week. I'm having a difficult time, making sure I'm staying on top of the important items.
The list was received in your office on January 28th.
What day was that?
28th, I don't know, January 28th. Was
Think
it
it's a Wednesday?
Friday? I think it was a Friday. It's almost 2 weeks, is my point.
I know Mr. Dillon had surgery, was out of the office for
1 week.
a few, pardon me?
It's 1 week. If today's Monday, this Friday, I guess, would be 2 weeks. No?
No.
I know, yeah, today's the 9th.
Well,
I'd just like to add, we're closing out the books for 2008. You asked for my opinion, and I felt I had to make sure I had the books closed out for 2008, so I can give you an accurate figure, because if you find out that I did not give you an accurate figure, you know what'll happen. That'll be all over town. So I feel that 10 days is more than adequate, a reasonable time to respond.
Well,
I'm doing my best, Mr.
we're
Lutz.
almost at 14 now, so tomorrow we...
I think your dates are wrong. I'll check tomorrow and I'll get
I
back
have
to
a
you.
time-stamped copy, if you'd like to see it. You're all...
Copy of it in the
Well,
office.
it's time-stamped January 28th,
What
3:49 p.m.
At 4 o'clock, that's the end of the workday. How about giving me another
That's fine.
day, which is the
well,
following
I
Monday?
think that you got operated the following day.
Friday.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Okay, I'm
You're
just-
going to get your information.
You asked me, and that's fine.
Every time you presented questions, you got the answers in writing. Am I
No,
correct?
I
just
wanna
want to
know
clear some things up.
If I'm going to get it in a timely fashion, that's all.
He said by Friday.
Mr. Lutz, I'd like to, the day the council passed the budget, you came in that morning and dropped off about 8 questions that I stopped everything we were doing. I had the bookkeeper, and we answered them so that you would have them the night of the budget, so that hopefully, you could see that the budget that council was going to act on was a very tight budget. And, so I'll get you your answers.
And Mr. Dole, you do feel that I'm entitled to those answers, don't you?
Did I say anything that
You're becoming very
reflected?
defensive.
I'm not being defensive.
Okay?
I'm not
That's
being,
your job, Mr. Dole.
Mr. Lutz,
Okay.
I will do my job. I will do my job, and I'll do it well. And I'm tired of your harassment.
Harassment?
Yes, harassment.
That's fine. The people that pay your salary are the people that elect me to this seat. Okay? All right, that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
I want to go back with just a couple quick things, not to keep this alive, but first of all, every time you submitted something in writing, you got all your answers, correct?
In writing.
In writing. Whenever you asked, you submitted these sheets that you claim are questions that you want answered,
Right.
did you always get them in a timely,
Yeah, I would say yes.
in a timely
I would-
fashion?
Timely.
Within a week to 10 days
Okay.
or sooner?
All right, that's fine.
Okay? The manager was out with surgery for a couple days. It went over, I don't have a calendar in front of me, which I wish I did.
It's been 8 working days, if you don't count the weekend.
What day was the 28th?
Wednesday.
A Wednesday, at
Wednesday?
4 o'clock. So Friday, he got operated on. He wasn't in Monday till late in the afternoon, barely got up the elevator to get into work. So I think not that I'm defending anybody, but I think that you will get your questions answered like you have in the past.
Thank you very
And
much.
every time we
That's all
answer
I
your
ask for,
questions,
Mr. Chairman.
you never have anything to come back and rebut them with, because most of your accusations or your comments are false anyway.
Okay.
The second thing is, you said about asking questions about the the treasurer's report at a work session. If we need to have Angie, the reason I said that is because I want to give you your answer immediately. It's very simple. If we have her here, to go in her room, press a button, and bring you back the answer to your question instead of waiting. Because what happens is, you come in, you give the manager a list, and you tie up the secretaries, you tie up Maria, you tie up Bridget, all day long, pulling out all this documentation for you. And you never come back with anything after we provide this.
Ralph, let me say this to you. Most of these items, I asked you for copies of contracts. It should take you 2 minutes on the computer to push a couple of buttons and print those things out.
No,
You know,
they're not that easy,
This
Jimmy.
this is not rocket science. I'm asking some very basic things.
And he said he will get it for you, but don't try to belittle somebody saying you've been waiting 10 days, and he works for the taxpayers, and you're his boss, basically what you're saying. I mean, he works for the borough. He doesn't work for you, he doesn't work for me.
Okay. Move the question, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions or comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4.
I'd like to make a motion establishing the salary for the Bristol Borough Tax Collector starting January 1st, 2010, in the amount of $15,000.
A second. Second by Mr. Musi. Any questions or comments?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to reference my comments to 2 articles that appeared in the Bucks County Courier Times. I'm not going to read the article, but the title will speak for themselves. January 28th, in Chamonix, no pay increases for tax collector. February the 6th, Council Rock, tax collector pay rate stays the same. 2 districts that are probably richer than this borough reflected the economic crisis of this country. Interestingly enough, the Chamonix School District did not approve a 2 to 3% raise. This council is suggesting we give the tax collector a 50% raise. I'd like to remind council that approximately 3 years ago, we spent about $90,000 renovating an office that she doesn't pay rent on. Okay? Passing this motion, I think, is a classic example of squandering taxpayers' money. I have faith that my colleagues on council will do the right thing and vote this motion down. Roll call vote.
It's been, first of all, do you know the salaries of these other tax collectors?
I can get you a copy of the article. It does
Not
break
the
it down.
article, their salaries. Do you think
Yeah,
that they're
well,
making more than
The
10,000?
Chamonix has 6 tax collectors. Council Rock has 5. There is if you read the article, if you want a copy of the article, it does list the salaries. I'm not going to sit here and repeat them all. But if you want a copy of
It
the
does
article,
have the salaries?
it does.
Give us
What do
one.
they make?
$4,630 for Unionville, $4,684 for Langhorne, $4,600 for Langhorne Manor, $26,201 for Lower South, $55,551 for Middleton, and $6,559 for Pendel. But they collect a lot more taxes. How many parcels do we have? 3,000 in the borough?
35. Well, let's look at it this way. It's been 8 years since the tax collector had a raise.
8 years.
So we're not giving a raise to the tax collector that's downstairs. It's for the tax collector that starts in 010. We're only paying this tax collector $10,000 a year. It's really an embarrassment for what they do and for what she makes. Now, it may be her, it may be somebody else, who knows, that's going to come into this office and collect taxes. But the other thing is,
That's for the Shannon.
as far as the building, this building belongs to Bristol Borough. It doesn't belong to the tax collector. So you're saying we should have renovated a building, every room, but leave that one untouched?
Does she pay rent? She runs her business out of this building, doesn't she? Does she pay rent?
No.
Okay.
She collects the school taxes out here. Do we charge the school
No.
for collecting their taxes here?
School charges their own taxes, so does the county.
But she collects them here, so should we be charging the school to collect taxes here?
Ralph, let's not dance around the issue.
I'm not.
This motion represents a 50% increase in salary. That's
Right.
excessive.
Well,
Okay?
50%,
And they refer to, in the Chamonix, a worsening economy. Now, apparently you think that Bristol Borough is not affected by this economy, that everybody else in the whole country has a problem, an economic problem, but Bristol. But you know what? I'm speaking my piece. I said what I wanted to say. You guys do what you want to do.
that's fine, but when you say a 50% increase, it's like somebody making 50,000 and you want to give them a $25,000
Well,
increase.
you're going from 10 to
10 to 15, I think,
Is that
I'm
50%?
asking council, I'm hoping that they see through your political game and vote for it.
No, I'm not running for re-election, you are. And if you want to run on the same ticket with the tax collector, that's your business, okay? And if you want to kick off your campaign with giving her a 50% raise, that's your prerogative.
I would be honored to run on her ticket.
So, well, that's fine. Okay, roll call vote.
Mr. Musi, you have anything?
Just so everyone knows, I added up the Chamonix School District, and their tax collectors, no matter how many they have, it's $102,255 they pay their tax collectors, and we pay our 10.
And how many households do they collect taxes from?
Well, you said it's all about money, Jimmy.
How many tax
All
bills
about-
do they
I don't know,
send
you
out?
tell me.
You want to compare apples with apples?
Yeah, I am.
Did.
$10,000, $102,255.
Let's vote.
Let's vote.
Let's vote.
Okay.
Okay, roll call vote, please. Any other questions or comments before we go to a vote? Go ahead, Maria.
Positively not.
Mr. Harris?
Yes.
Mr. Canal?
Yes.
Mr. Rodriguez? Absolutely.
Yes.
Mr. Musi?
Positively, yes.
Mr. Punt?
Yes.
Mr. DiGiuseppe?
Yes.
Carried.
And you could print that on my literature that I gave her a 50% raise.
That's fine.
Anything other business?
I'd like to make a motion to suspend the rules.
I have a second. Second by Ms. Rodriguez. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, Mr. Musi.
I'd like to make a motion to advertise ordinance to amend Section 307 of the zoning ordinance to delete Section 307.2D.
Basically, what this is, the solicitor needed a motion for an ordinance change in a residential district. So it takes 30 days to advertise it, and we'll discuss it in March, but he wants to get it into the paper. So do I have a second? Second by Mr. Rodriguez. Any questions or comments?
We'll discuss this at the next workshop.
Well, I could tell you what it is right now.
Well, as long as we have a chance to
Mr. Solano, why
discuss
don't you,
it, that's fine.
Section 307.2.d allows for low-rise apartments in an R2 district, and this would delete that section, so they would not be permitted as of right in an R2 district.
What we're trying to do is protect the borough from somebody, we had some rumor that somebody may be coming in to try to put some apartments into a residential district. So we want to protect the borough by getting this ordinance established as soon as possible. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Opposed? Can I get a motion to adjourn? Joe, I'm sorry.
I just had one quick thing I forgot under the mayor's report. Back on Martin Luther King Day, we had a group of 60 people went out and handed out literature, hung bags on doors. We were collecting food for food pantries. The follow-up on that was on Super Bowl Sunday. We had another 40 volunteers who went out and collected over 1,400 food items that were distributed to the three pantries in town, which is the Bristol Community Action Group on Wood Street, the Second Baptist Church on Ray Street, and the First United Methodist Church on Mulberry Street. And they were all happy because the pantries were pretty much empty. So I want to thank all the residents who contributed to that and thank the council for supporting that effort also. Thank you. Just wanted to get that in.
Okay, meeting adjourned.